Hi. Still working on the mic situation. It's late, and this is a demo. This is a tester episode of the many episodes to come. And I'm doing it even though my cheeks all puffy. And apparently my neighbors decided now is the time to throw their party. Just kidding, there's no parties. This is about the body keeping the score and holding trauma, and how we collectively, humans, have stepped into this trauma and what we get to step into to get out of it. So our bodies are holding it in. Our bodies are holding it in our fascia. I have been using this tool. If you want to get this tool, I will link it below. It is not my tool. I do not make money off of this tool. If I teach you how to do this class, that's another story. The creator of this tool also saw the corruption in this clearly profit-driven segment of society. We've kept vague on purpose. I think you can see between the lines. Breaking up the fascia, not only does it release the trauma stored in the crystals, in the crystalline body, in this body of light. Looking up an electron microscope of fascia shows light, right? The true light body is the fascia. The true light body harnessing is knowing your own light body. And the only way to do that is to roll the body, is to experience what it is to be in the flesh, right? You have to experience, even if you have experienced pain and other, disappointments in this lifetime, it's still our opportunity to help ourselves break through to the next level. How do you do it? You break apart your fascia. If you don't understand what fascia is pretty much almost everything. It holds your skin together. It holds your skin to your muscles. It holds your muscles together. It holds your individual muscle fibers together. Fascia is everywhere. It's all the connective tissues, and it has all of this crystallization in it from years of life, years of trauma, years of dehydration, years of, oh, no sound. Thanks. Thanks for telling me. I gotta figure out this whole thing. Well, this was a demo anyway. Now how do I even check? Check. Sound. Alright. So then, fascia. So it holds your individual muscles together. It holds the muscles to the bones. And bone is basically calcified fascia. So fascia can, any crystal of fascia, take a spoon, take something that can scrape your skin. Just do it on your hand. I've got a gua sha scraper somewhere in this bag. Yeah. Okay. If you take a spoon and you run it across your fingers, you're gonna feel all these little popping. Okay? That little popping, that is the sound of your fascia that and he says he can't hear me, so if you can't hear me, that means I gotta work on my mic in general. Could just be my phone. Scraping. You're gonna feel the crystallization. You're gonna feel the fascia break apart. The fascia can hold up to 2,000 pounds per square inch of tension that blocks the nerves, the veins, all blood vessels, all lymph nodes are blocked in the body, which means most people don't even know that they hold these crystals in their hands and feet and all over their entire body. This tool breaks that apart. It also helps relax, and you just don't do it on the lower back, okay? Never do it on the lower back, but the fascia network is connected all over the body. So not only does it go crisscross across the front and the back of the system, thanks. Get it? I'm talking to people. This cat doesn't want anything to do with me until right now. So once you learn about your fascia, once you cue back into your body, you are able to, one, release tension that you've been storing. You can even release and open up the muscles, the 8 cranial muscles that are holding the brain in, and that allows you to have like a vagus nerve reset. Right? You start to build in nervous system check-ins, and that is going to get you past a lot of your trauma. See, we're all storing trauma in different parts of our bodies. And when you're able to be in a safe place and you're not out there busy repeating patterns of chaos and destruction within your own way of being, you are able to actually be in the present moment with your family, with your friends, with life. Make wise decisions. See, when you're in pain and you're suffering, sometimes you can hurt other people, right? And you can also hurt yourself. And the way to do that is to clue back into the body. Clue back into the fascia and where things are tight, and if you're holding any disease or discomfort in the body. Embodiment is important because that's how we can actually tell what's going well or what's not going well within our own systems. How we can start to correct any type of issue that may be developing. A lot of people don't even know they're developing kidney stones, or that their liver is taxed, or that they're having any type of like blockage in any type of gland, any type of lymph node, right? A lot of people say, oh, I didn't know I was getting this disease, but you knew that your jaw had been clenched and tight for the last 2 years. You knew that your teeth were aching, or that you're having gastrointestinal pain, or you're having cramps in a certain part of your body. You get to free yourself from this system that keeps you separated and disconnected from yourself. It's time for us to reclaim our power, our gift, our manifestation. Manifestation, right? And that's where breaking apart your fascia, being embodied, knowing what's bothering you. Maybe you're healing childhood wounds. Maybe you're healing, past life stuff, ancestral stuff passed down to you. Maybe you're feeling all the oppression that's been put on your people for the past, I don't know, so many hundreds of years. And it's all sitting with you right now in this space where you're free to be healthy, free to have some sense of security and safety so you can start to heal and then make wiser decisions. Because when you're reacting from a place that has, when you're reacting from a place instead of responding from a place of growing and creating for the future, then what are you really doing? We are at this point as humans that we can actually choose to consciously evolve for the betterment of ourselves. And we all know that they say that there's all these weird colloquialisms or sayings that don't actually apply, but they're there to create a storyline for people. And one of them is, you gotta, everything, stress something is the mother of invention, right? But in reality, creativity, relaxation, just expansion of consciousness is the crux of creativity. We have the ability to get out of these pickles that we have driven ourselves into, this self-destructive behavior, by taking time figuring out, oh, okay, this type of vehicle and this type of consumption is actually dwindling our resources. Okay, what does that mean for us? What can we shift into culturally, collectively, so that it's good for all of us, that we can all eat, we can all have housing and safety and security and autonomy of our bodies, right? Well, that was a firework, but let's just say I'm in a place that constantly sets off fireworks. I mean, should I mute it? Maybe I should have some sound music in between. To consciously evolve as people. Ooh, I just literally got a tooth removed, you guys. It kind of hurts a lot to do this. But what it's doing is it's moving the lymph. It's moving all of it through my system. I'm learning what it's like to feel open and unclogged, right? Because often we're hunched over our desks or our cell phones, pinching and clutching these. I'm realizing I need to sit back. I need to feel open. Oh. Oh. I think I'll do this a little earlier next time, so I'm not so tired. But this is like a preview. I plan on doing lives every Friday. We can go into whatever topics. I'm here to help the world become its better place, its best place, right? And I know you want to enjoy this life. I want us all to enjoy this life. That's what it's here for. And we can all have a standard of living that's just pleasurable and enjoyable. And how we do that is we consciously evolve together. It's not so much about consumption and greed and all of that stuff. But there's some things that get to be balanced out. I know this. You know this. And since it's almost time for bed here, the gua sha on the face. Life just keeps getting better and better. See, So I'm really big into this creating a new earth, right? This new world. The evolution of our species. And for me, that foundation is the golden life, right? Treating others how I wish to be treated, but also knowing when boundaries need to be made. Just like you have to set boundaries for others, you also have to set boundaries for yourself. And that means self discipline. That means taking care of what is off within you. And sometimes what is off within us is stuck in our bodies or is stuck in our mind on loop. And that's one of the things I like about this is it opens up that space. If people are talking to you about trauma and healing your trauma, but they're not actually going into your fascia or your body, and they're not combining all of the systems and helping you understand those systems better, and they're not really getting you to another level. Certain people are so ignorant, they aren't aware of themselves. They aren't aware of their digestive system or their skin or their muscles or their immune system. We know we have them, but we chalk it over to something else, some other business or industry, instead of you being in your body right now and understanding what those systems are and learning them, learning how to maneuver within them with what we have and choosing better. Because as we all choose better, it becomes better for all of us. Facts. Our reason that food is distributed in there's grocery stores is because we realize there's so many beautiful options of food and produce and artisan breads and soaps and all these things. We started trading. We've always been trading, right? We've always been looking at resources. Well, we all deserve resources, and we all are brilliant in that sense that we create or we appreciate that which has been created. But the consumption, the mindless consumption, the junk, that doesn't help us evolve. It's through these nuanced things that people have become. Like, let's say it's um, sculpture, music, instruments. People choosing to fall into love with whatever it is that they desire, and then being given that support to nurture that, we get beautiful art pieces. We get beautiful musically composed pieces. We get books. We get, agriculture and, beautifully, created um, gardens and things like that. So once a person has disassociated from their body, like a lot of people have with complex PTSD, or they haven't been able to focus because of survival, right? One has to take the opportunity to remember what it's like to be in the body by slowly breaking apart the pieces of the body that are not breaking apart, but breaking into and studying themselves. Everything starts to make more sense. Patterns can be recognized and changed. And that's when we start to step into our conscious coevolution. And one of the things that people with PTSD and different neurological differences, they don't always know what they look like to other people. They know what they look like or what they feel like inside of them, but from the perspective of other people, and that perspective sometimes thrown at them via caregivers and things, but they don't realize that the perspective also comes with its own lens, its own experiences. You guys. So, that being said, it's time for us to choose our evolution. It's time for us to choose being in our bodies. It's time for us to choose ourselves. It's time for us to open back up the pathways that have been shut down. It's time for us to release old toxic patterns, things that are stuck in the body. It's time for us to learn how to reset our systems, to listen to why do there's so many digestive issues, why are there so many cancers. Maybe we need to slow down on certain things and savor the good parts, while also looking at and figuring out how we get to release old patterns that don't serve, right? As well as gain new ones. It's complicated doing something you've never done before if you've never done it before. But it can be done. You can do it. You can step into a new way of being. You can step into a new light, a new life. You just get to choose it on a regular basis. Okay, so the last thing I think I'm going to do while we're here together is I'm going to do the nerve reset part. Okay, okay, so you find the little spongy part of your skull and you pull your head in towards Fascinator. You're just gonna breathe here. Let your brain relax. You can feel it really relaxing deep into the skull. Really spend your time. So getting the Fascinator from the creator is absolutely worth it. It's not a foam roller. It's a Fascinator. It's not a PVC pipe. It's a Fascinator. Specifically designed to help you be more aware of you. I feel all the tension release from my skull over the side of my temple. I feel blood vessels and stuff opening up all the way to the top. I'm doing both sides of the major sides of the neck, not rolling on the bone. I'm worth this moment. I'm worth this trial. I will check out how it worked. I will check out my audio and see how it's going. Not bad for a demo day. You know, my hair kind of looks like the lion's. Wild, whimsical. So tell me what you know about evolution during this revolution. I can't wait till the swelling goes down. My cheek is so jumpy. It looks like I have something in there. But I don't. If anybody had a tooth pulled, it's not ideal. That was like my goal, one of my goals that I failed, was to never have a tooth pulled. But she was a goner. And you know what I learned? Because there's a spiritual meaning behind everything. Is that It's okay to be heard. It's okay to be seen. There's these things that I was taught growing up about not being able to talk about what the actual issue is, ignoring the elephant in the room, if you will, denying the self for approval. And that's a lonely place to be because you're by yourself, trying to be yourself, but not allowing yourself to be yourself. And so you have to come to terms with the fact that you let yourself give your power away for however many years, and you're not going to do that anymore, even though you've conditioned and trained yourself to do it. You're not going to do it anymore because you deserve better. You deserve the best. You are the best at being you. And nobody should make you feel like it's not okay to be you. But I think a lot of us were put away as children, told to put those aspects of ourselves that were unfavorable away. Not how to properly emotionally regulate or anything like that, heaven forbid, right? But it's our time to allow ourselves to actually feel, to let ourselves actually. It's like you feel that pain and you'll never feel that pain the way again. But if you keep feeling that pain without looking at how it happened in the first place, or what within you keeps attracting that pattern, then of course you're going to repeat the pattern, right? Well, what's stuck in my lower leg, maybe it's a bunch of self-hatred or some kind of delusion that we were told our emotional needs, our physical needs, or our spiritual needs couldn't be met. Maybe it's a denial of the self and one's sexuality and creativity. And that festers and becomes some type of cancer because it's stuck. It's stuck in the fascia, and it could be rolled out and hydrated and loved and released. Sometimes you don't even know that you don't feel until you learn to feel again. And that's one of my favorite parts about opening with the Fascinator. All the work of me studying trauma and having experienced and being diagnosed with complex PTSD, the release of that, because I'm a big so within as without kind of a person, and the world being in the state that it's in, I know that I've got a lot of work to do, because I know I'm not perfect. No matter what they say. I don't know if anybody's ever told me I was perfect. But if they did, you know, bonus points for sure. Healing, it happens day to day, and it's similar to mourning in the sense that you're letting go of who you once were to become who you were becoming, who you chose to be, who you're choosing to be at this moment. You're worthy of your own time. You're worthy of the love, right? You're worthy of your own attention. Spend time learning and relearning your body, and relearning your body, and relearning. I have learned, if there's anything, especially as a woman, that things change, hormones change, feelings change, the weather changes, the tide changes, the moon's phases become more full or smaller, and we are reflections of that. So it's like any athlete will tell you, some days you're just on it and you've got it, and some days you're just a little bit different. but you train on that day for that difference. And if you realize that you aren't feeling or you've been stuck in trauma, then you get to train yourself for what that looks like and what that means. Does that mean you allow yourself to have what you want? You allow yourself to have what you desire? Or do you keep self-sabotaging for some unknown reason? And that means you gotta look back at and learn and retrain and learn you. What mindsets are you ready to give up? What space are you ready to say is no longer yours, it's not your identity? And sometimes it takes time to flesh it out, but as long as you're asking the question, an answer will at some point reveal itself to you. And maybe you even think you get the answer and you got the wrong one and you gotta revise it, because that's kind of the nature of it. And the old you keeps passing on, and that person who you thought you were is no longer who you are, and you become something new again. The ebb and flow of the universe is beautiful, is endless. You guys, I'm feeling right now, don't you know? Don't you know? They're like, we don't care, give us our pets, and that's okay. Alright, it's clearly past my bedtime. I'm clearly exhausted. And the time has come for us to say goodnight. I'm very excited about this adventure with you. So, this is my first of many. I'm putting it on the schedule. This is my Friday night. You and me. And this live. And maybe I'll get more nuanced in topics. Maybe I'll do channeled messages or energy healing. I don't know. I kind of do all this stuff, and I want to hold it down. I mean, we could talk about fascia even if you want, and trauma. We could talk about what disorders one can avoid from the body by actually listening to it and working through it with the fascinator. Laying down, I'm like, am I asleep? I don't know. Am I sleeping? Probably a little bit. Ow, my cheek hurts. When a part of your body hurts, it can make your whole brain shut down. But you know what? I'm here. I'm putting in the work. I'm not a slacker. I just gotta learn from this. What mistakes were made and what I can do to do better for the next video. Life is good, and it's just getting better. And I want you to enjoy your life as well. So if you are suffering from chronic pain or fatigue, or just going through releasing trauma and ready to get through the other side, join me in the Fascinator Method community. Glue, featuring the Fascinator, starting this 11/11. Release your trauma.